Hello, everybody. We're back after a small recess because yours truly went on a fantastic European vacation. I saw Big Ben, Parliament. That was only one day of my vacation, though.
Did you win a trip on the Pig and the Poke?
Pig and a poke. Yeah, let's be pigs. No, it was much better than that vacation that they went on. But anyway, so now we're back. And we're very excited about the new television season kicking off next week because, Big Brother can only take me so far in the summer. And Switched at Birth is starting to bore me. So.
Bachelor in Paradise.
Oh, ugh.
Anyway. If you're naming bad television shows, I can name bad television shows too.
So, Ashley, why don't you tell me the first show that you are excited to see this season?
Yeah, I was going to say if we could go ahead and just give those disclaimer air quotes because this is like the best of what's available. I'm not really jazzed about any, but if you're going to force me to pick, I'm going to start with Quantico, which I think is on...
it's on ABC Sundays at 10.
Thank you. Wonderful. It's a show, it's young FBI recruits, which I feel like there was one like last season, right, that didn't work out. What was it? Your favorite show?
Oh, well, it wasn't really about recruits, but it just had that FBI feel, and it was called State of Affairs with Katherine Heigl. And let's just be honest, I can't stand anything Katherine Heigl does. So
is that the one where she was in the FBI and she accidentally got pregnant but decided to make a go of it anyway with the deadbeat that she got pregnant by?
It was supposed to be like a network version of Homeland, and you cannot do a network version of Homeland.
No. Well, I think that I'm pretty sure that this is what they're going for here, too. The things that I've read keep saying that it feels like if Shonda Rhimes and Homeland attempted to have a baby, but neither one of them were involved, then you'd have this show, Quantico. I'm just still always on the hunt for anything that will make me relive, like, the Alias glory days of seasons 1 through 3, and nothing yet, so I'll give this one a shot and see if that's it.
Okay. All right, and perhaps I'll give it a shot with you. Perhaps I will go to bed. But, you know what, let's back it up an hour. Prior to Quantico is a new show called Blood and Oil. And I'm going to check that one out, mainly because it stars Chase Crawford, and I need a little Gossip Girl back in my life. Mm-hmm. And he's really, you know what? He's not the only Gossip Girl coming back. Chuck Bass is in a show, and I don't remember what show it is, and I don't think it's on my list. It might be because, come on, you know what? It might be a mid-season show, and that's why it's not on my list. But whatever show Chuck Bass is on, I will watch. Anyway, back to Blood and Oil.
Yeah. Chase
Crawford's in it. He's one half of some young couple that wants to take advantage of this modern-day oil boom. And, I was excited at first because I was like, oh, it's going to be like this Dallas. They're going to go to West Texas. I totally thought until about 20 minutes ago that it took place in Texas. It takes place in North Dakota.
Oh, you lost me. Meanwhile, the whole time I'm thinking that's why Chase Crawford's in it, because it's a Texas-based show and he's a Texan.
Exactly. However, it also stars Don Johnson, not a Texan, though he had his daughter in Austin, Texas, because he was working in Austin at that time, which was, 25 years ago now. Anyway, I'm going to check it out strictly because of Don Johnson and Chase Crawford, but now I'm not having high hopes for it. But it's on Sundays at 9 on ABC, following Once Upon a Time. I watch Once Upon a Time. And then if I'm not too tired, I might stay up for your Quantico.
Possibly. No. Fingers crossed. Okay, cool. Well, the only other drama that I have on my list is Code Black, which, not to be confused with ER, Chicago Med, Grey's Anatomy, or any of the other giant ensemble medical dramas of recent years. But I think this one's trying to really capitalize in on the ER because it's set in the ER. This one's set in Los Angeles, though. what's redeeming here for me? Well, I stopped watching Grey's Anatomy, so I feel like I have a little bit of a medical show void that could be filled here, and it has Marcia Gay Harden, and I think she's really good, so I'm really to give it at least one shot, just like we're giving everything else to see life in a Los Angeles ER.
Yeah, and it's got to be better than Chicago Med because let's be honest, I watched Chicago Fire strictly for the hot dudes and the pure soapiness of it, not the fire aspect of it, because that's just a joke. So they already got their one spinoff of Chicago PD, which I can't watch because that was too much. Now they're doing a second spinoff of Chicago Med, and they're going to be doing all these crossover episodes, and it's just going to annoy me because I'm not watching those other shows. And then those characters are going to pop up on Chicago Fire, and I'm not going to know who they are, and then they're going to lose me completely. So, but I have one interesting thing about the Chicago Med cast, because I was doing some research, and it has some well-known people, Oliver Platt and S.
I like him.
How do you say that woman's name? S. Apatha Murkerson. Okay. They're both in it, which is great. But more importantly, there's a girl on it who had they spun off from Chicago Fire. And I realized when I was doing my research that she was the young girl who played Whitney in the Whitney Houston movie. It doesn't get any better.
That movie was like softcore porn into a lifetime. That was hilarious.
Well, now I'm sorry I missed it. It was softcore porn?
Kind of. I stumbled onto it and I was like, what is this? Did we get premium cable and I didn't know? Okay. Anyways, no, you should not watch it. But yes, it was a little bit like softcore porn because it was like fake Bobby Brown and fake Whitney Houston. So.
All right. Moving on to another CBS drama. I'm not sure how it's going to be, but I am going to check out Limitless. Ooh. And the reason I'm going to check out Limitless is because, first of all, Bradley Cooper's in the pilot. Mm-hmm. So a lot of us are probably going to check out that episode. But more importantly, the guy who is kind of taking over the reins from Bradley is this kid named Jake McDorman, who's actually been trying for the last few years. He's been in a lot of shows, like recurring roles or even like a star, but then the show didn't make it. The kid's been trying. But what I know him from is Bring It On, All or Nothing. He was Hayden Panettiere's slimy boyfriend. Anyway, that's on CBS on Tuesdays at 10.
I like it. It's all based on Bring It On.
Of course. My life is Bring It On.
Okay. Well, we're now going to venture into my choices that basically are just, they're on the list because I feel like it's my childhood coming back. Like, we've had the Girl Meets World moment. We've had the Fuller House.
We have had the Girl Meets World moment multiple times.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, it's working. What's old is new again. I'm not saying these are reboots. I'm saying they're people from our childhood coming in. And the first one I'm going with is the Muppets. Like,
oh, I had a Muppet around here, but I think he's at work.
The Muppets.
You don't sound excited about the Muppets.
I don't really, I mean, is there something to say? Like, it's the Muppets. Like, childhood, it's wonderful.
I think you're still bitter about Denise breaking up the happy home of Kermit and Piggy.
I just don't even, I can't.
Okay, well, let's just move on.
I can't. I will check.
I'm super psyched for the Muppets. I just spit everywhere. That's how excited I am.
Yeah. Well, they do that. They're puppets. Listen, I'll check it out. I think it's funny that we've now gotten to a point that, like, primetime adult television is now bringing children's television in with adult humor. Like, I know this isn't like Adult Swim or the Comedy Central now, this isn't that. This is actual, like, primetime television on a major network bringing children's puppets as an adult offering. It's comical to me. I guess we're running out of material, and apparently I'm a sucker for it. I'll try it once.
All right. Well, I'll try it because I love me some Muppets. And, I'm hoping that I won't be disappointed. But, again, I don't have high hopes for this season in general. It's a pretty weak television season. I mean, at least there's, I actually went back looking at even the shows that are coming back. It's just a bad time for network.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some few hit gems there, but let's hope for some hidden gems here. I don't know. We could be pleasantly surprised. Moving on from the Muppets, I'm going to go back with not something from a childhood, but a reboot, and that's Heroes Reborn. And, when I heard they were redoing Heroes, part of me was excited, but then I knew that, like, most of those cast members weren't going to be able to do it because they're all doing other projects.
Right.
So I wasn't really sure what they were doing. But last week on iTunes, I downloaded this episode that they cut. Is instead of doing, like, one of those, like, long form preview pieces, like I've actually watched a few of these for these shows, they did an actual episode that kind of bridges the gap from the old heroes and the new heroes. Now I'm kind of excited because I'm seeing like what direction they're going with. It's very, very X-Men, which I understand that that's kind of where heroes came from. It's like the X-Men, but for teenagers. They've got these special abilities. This one really, I feel like, focuses on that even more because it's about that struggle of like, do they register and let people know that they have these abilities, or do they hide it? And it kind of felt like that struggle between like Professor Xavier and Eric. Like, so that's X-Men reference if you don't watch X-Men.
No, I do.
So I'm going to check it out because I did think that the episode that bridged was interesting. So I'll check it out. I know that some of the older characters will pop up here and there, and it'll just be interesting to see how it goes. So that one I actually am a little bit excited for.
I can tell. My next one on the list is Grinder, which is on Fox.
Mm-hmm.
Which I, like, as a principal, refuse to watch any more offerings of Rob Lowe tried to be on television. I don't mind Rob Lowe. I just feel like this is like the 8th one, and I don't really know. I'm obviously over-dramatizing, but it's been a lot. He's always playing some, like, legal type. And this is no different, except this is done on a funnier spin. It's like he's a television lawyer, and then the show gets canceled, and then he moves home, where his actual brother is a lawyer, and it's a dramedy. And here's why I'm choosing it, because I'm sure it's going to get canceled, so I'm going to commit the one episode. But it has Fred Savage in it. It's my childhood. Yes. I mean, Kevin's coming back.
Do you think Winnie will make like
Yes, because she's not doing anything, so she'll come back.
She was on Dancing with the Stars a couple seasons ago. I mean,
and now she's not doing anything, so she will come back. But I think I will do it because of Fred Savage, because I like the dramedy, the hometown family dramedy, and it was reminding me of Ed when I watched the preview, and I loved Ed, and I miss Ed, or something that resembles Ed, like very Gilmore Girls, like small town, like quirky characters. So I'll give it a run.
Okay. All right. Well, I am not a comedy person, so I don't have any comedies on my list. So I'm going to have to go back to a drama, and I'll stick with the Fox. I'm definitely going to check out Scream Queens. I know Fox is putting a lot behind this show. I feel like this is like their second to Empire. Like, we know Empire's doing well, and everyone's going to promote that. Please, please, please push Scream Queens. This is Ryan Murphy's new show. I'm concerned about how it's going to be because Glee was Ryan, kind of fell off after the first few seasons. It wasn't they kind of weren't going there with the jokes like they were in the beginning, where they were like kind of un-PC. Then it kind of became a little more PC, and it wasn't quite as funny. And then obviously he moved his energy over to American Horror Story, which is great. I couldn't watch last season because of that damn clown, but I will watch this season when the hotel season kicks off. But I'm more. So I know it's like a mix of like Heathers, Mean Girls, Scream, Friday the 13th, like all of that. I like all of those shows or movies. So I know that there's going to be a part of that in there that will appeal to me. But really it's the cast. Like Jamie Lee Curtis, the original Scream Queen, as they're calling her. Emma Roberts, who's been in, 3 seasons? The last 2 seasons of American Horror Story. Leah Michele, who was in Glee. They've got Nick Jonas, which will be interesting to see how his actually legitimate acting is, because, is he in that boxing show? Is that him? Right? Oh yeah, he is in that. So he must have some kind of acting chops. I haven't seen that show. Ariana Grande, another one that'll be interesting to see how she acts. That Kiki chick, I don't know who she is, Kiki Palmer. And then just today, they announced they added Chad Michael Murray. So, I'm excited.
Where's he been?
Doing Lifetime television movies.
He's still got the hair. He's really, I need to know what his hair looks like.
It's shorter. And then, I just feel like there's going to be a lot of, random people, because I saw that, they said who would play his parents, and I can't remember who the female was, but, Alan Thicke will play his dad, probably in, some minor parts, not not like every episode by any means, probably flashbacks or like whatever. And then the other one that I found really interesting, because everyone just keeps landing roles in the show, is Billie Lourd, who is Carrie Fisher's daughter. So we've never really seen her, but I think she's like 19 and is interested in acting and happened to like be sitting next to Ryan Murphy at an event. And Ryan's like, yeah, well, let me write a part for you in my show. So it's kind of interesting that all these,
I love that happens.
They keep these of people. I know. How could that never happen for us? Why isn't anyone funding this project?
I'm sitting next to anybody productive in a coffee shop.
We're funding this project. Okay, so give me your last. You got one more.
Yep. I'm going with grandfathered. You see why
if every word I said could make you laugh, I'd talk forever. Ooh, where's Jimmy and Johnny, our favorite
Jimmy
babies?
and Johnny, when you get this up in post, can you put the babies up? Grandfathered is on Fox, and it stars John Stamos, otherwise known as Uncle Jesse. Oh, and the crowd goes wild. Who pretty much is,
see?
He's pretty much playing an Uncle Jesse in this. So,
apparently, Grandpa Jesse.
He's he aged. He naturally aged. So he's like, some like
just a little actually
philandering, like womanizing famous chef in Los Angeles who just never cares for anyone but himself and his business. And then all of a sudden one day this out of wedlock illegitimate son that he never knew he had shows up and is like, hey, I'm your son and this is a baby. Now you're a grandpa too. Like, comedy ensues. But baby's in the restaurant. Like, I don't know what to do. How do you put a diaper on? Like,
so it sounds like Full House is what you're saying.
Full House meets 3 Men and a Baby meets 2015.
Wait, Full House was 3 Men and a Baby.
Oh. There's 3 men and 3 babies.
To come up with that concept, Ash.
3 men and 3 babies.
There you go.
So anyways, but it does have Uncle Jesse, and he's fresh out of rehab, and I want to support him, so I'll give it a whirl.
That brings us to our final choice, which is kind of weird that I'm doing this one last because it's not, I don't know if it's the least, I don't know. There's a lot that I'm not super excited about. This one is one that I'm going to try out because I feel like it's a show I should like, but I don't know if I will, and that is Supergirl. I have some concerns about it because I think it's just really hard to do a superhero that comes from like that whole DC world that's kind of a big deal, and then again you're going to do it on network, so it's kind of, I feel like it's maybe like wah, wah. But more important than that, the reason I'm not sure I'm going to like it is I don't want to say cannot stand. That's a little harsh, but I'm not a huge fan of Melissa Benoist. Benoist, is that how you say her last name? I did not like her on Glee, and I crossed paths with her in real life, and she just is like, she has no people skills, and it's just, she doesn't have that, like, you see certain people on the screen, even that kid on Limitless, he kind of like commands the screen. You're like, oh, that's a good looking kid, and whatever. She just doesn't have that. And so I don't know how she can carry a show like Supergirl, like a show that people have been trying to make between the movie and the TV show. People have been trying to get this franchise off the ground, pun intended, for like 30 years.
Well, I was going to say, just as you described that, I mean, like, I feel like Tom Welling in Smallville on the WB kicked this whole thing off, and he was great.
Exactly.
He had that, like, rigid, like, the whole, like, I'm a movie star superhero, like, I buy into it. You have to have it.
Now, let me bring one thing up that segues into. This might be the first time ever between both the WB and the CW that I am not excited for a new show on that network.
I was about to say, this is very odd for you and me both not to have some, like, teens fun drama on this thing. Scream Queens doesn't count. And I think
it's because they're really moving towards that dark, gritty superhero thing. But what's going to happen is what happens with every trend is the landscape's just going to get too populated. So you've got Gotham, which is the dark, gritty. You got Supergirl, which probably will not be dark, but still it's going to take some of that attention away. You've got Arrow. You've got The Flash. Yeah. Now you've got Legends of Tomorrow, which The Flash will make appearances on. It's going to be too much. That's my thought on that. So, new season kicks off this Monday. I know, I can't remember what all new shows are starting, but I know Big Bang is coming back and Life in Pieces is launching, again, a comedy, so comedy's not my thing. But I know both of those start on Monday.
But
And
you're so funny.
yeah, whatever. I think Blind Spot. I think Blind Spot on NBC starts Monday. That's the one that they've really been hyping. Chick gets dropped in Times Square with the tattoos all over her body, and it's like a clue.
It's like Amanda Bynes' life.
It's Memento or Amanda Bynes' life. And on that note, I bid you adieu.
I do.